success in his life, and had been there for a long time, and to have to hear someone talk about, well, I was up for this part, I didn't get this part.
To explode. He was having a baby with 26-year-old Rebecca Broussard.
I was very devastated by our having to separate, but there was no choice. There was no way that I could go on being with Jack, who was fathering a child by another woman. I'm not that kind of woman. It's thoughtlessness or carelessness, ultimately, that's terribly hard to forgive. And I felt as though my time and my love and my dedication in some way had been macheted. And that's hard to take because, you know, it sort of makes you feel worthless for a time. You reevaluate your whole life, you examine your existence, you haul yourself over the coals, you wonder what you did wrong, you wonder what you might have done right, and you try to behave as decently as possible under the circumstances.
The press was relentless, and through it all, Anjelica kept the poise and class that have become her hallmark.
Ultimately, maintaining your dignity in the light of public humiliation, if you will, is about as good as you can do. Particularly when you're not really responsible for the humiliation. It never feels good to have been left, and to have been left for a younger woman, you know, all of this stuff. It comes with a lot of baggage, and as best I could, I tried to expedite my own recovery. And yes, I had some very, very hard times, some dark nights of the soul.
You look wonderful.
Wonderful, I think, would be pushing it.
5 years later, to the surprise of many, Anjelica agreed to co-star opposite her ex in The Crossing Guard.
So, how's business?
They played a divorced couple dealing with the death of their daughter. For Anjelica, it was a chance to put her talents to use and their relationship fully to rest.
I've been so angry at you for so damn long. Too angry to see you or hear you or care about you.
It wasn't necessarily about forgiveness for me. It was about, can I do this? Can I portray this person? Do I know about loss? Those were my main reasons for doing that. And also, maybe in a way to bless it and let it go. I haven't seen him in quite some time. I think it's sort of another life to me. Now I can look back on it, whereas once I felt like it was all around me and in my eyes and ears and down my throat. I don't feel that way anymore. I can be objective. I can hear things said about him and not feel personally involved. I can look at pictures of him with his children and not feel a dagger in my heart, or, you know, the ugly feeling of betrayal. And I don't want to. I really don't. I don't want to feel those feelings. And I've worked hard not to feel them anymore. And life's been good to me.
Having finally said goodbye to Jack Nicholson, Anjelica was able to fully open her heart to a new man. His name is Robert Graham. and her relationship with this world-renowned sculptor would help Anjelica begin a new chapter in love and work. After years of struggle, Anjelica Huston has not only achieved Hollywood stardom, she has finally found a true sense of balance in her personal life with critically acclaimed artist Robert Graham.
He's funny, he makes me laugh, he's protective. It's not like relationships I used to have that were always up and down. It's much steadier and much simpler somehow.
Firmly established in his own right, Robert is the sculptor responsible for the Olympic Gateway in Los Angeles. His critically acclaimed and controversial work can be seen in cities and museums around the globe. And he credits the ease of their relationship to having like-minded souls.
It helps very much that we're both artists. She has an artist's sensibility and conscience, and I think that's what gives her that particular magic, that she can portray these characters in such a true way.
He's very supportive of me, very supportive of my work, which is a new phenomenon in my life.
With newfound support and happiness, Anjelica has been drawn to lighter roles. The Addams Family movies not only allowed her to laugh, she was able to play her favorite game from childhood.
Play Morticia in the mirror, you know. Morticia was almost like as good as a bride. The black hair was a veil.
And after playing with veils dozens of times as a child, in 1992, at the age of 41, Anjelica finally became a bride. I looked on with close friends and family as Anjelica said, "I do, for real."
I didn't wear a veil, but I wore a white hat. I thought it might be a bit late for a veil. And then I danced all night. Perfect.
She was a dame on her wedding day and a girl on her wedding day because, you know, she has such stature and everything, but she's also such a girl.
If there was anything that I would envy in her life, it would be that relationship. It's absolutely magical.
While Anjelica once wanted children, she is now more than content to spend time with her husband and her niece and nephews.
I've tried to have children on several occasions. It's you know, and it's involved for me operations and I guess if I were more passionate about it, I'd adopt. I don't feel as though my life isn't complete if I don't have children.
Anjelica's life continues to be filled with possibilities and challenges. Embracing her father's legacy, she recently went behind the camera as a director.
And action.
She tackled the controversial television. The directorial debut, Anjelica earned one of the highest awards in television, an Emmy nomination.
Directing the movie was greatly influenced by being at her father's side for so long, and you know, even when she wasn't paying attention, she must have been getting all this by osmosis.
Even though Anjelica is still in her 40s, she has the grace, wisdom, and depth that can only come from living and experiencing many extraordinary lives. I can honestly say that her father, as demanding as he was, would be proud. But more importantly, Anjelica Huston, who worked so hard as a child for acceptance, has made herself happy.
I think it's a really good time in my life. I'm not as prone to beating myself up. I'm glad to be out of that syndrome. I'm glad not to have to work so hard for my own approval, let alone everyone else's.